Hey everybody, how's it going? Mike again. Today we're going to look at another update. I guess we'll call it my February pickups. The last video I did like this, I went over basically everything I'd gotten from the end of Christmas through January. So this one will be everything I've gotten from the end of that video until now. I realize today is March 7th, but we'll call it basically February's pickups. And we'll see, I might split this video into two. We'll start with the DVDs. If it runs too long, I'll split it into two and go over the Blu-rays in a second video, depending on how much I ramble on. Before I start, I'd like to just say quick hi and thanks to Sammy Faligar 517. Thanks a lot, man. He gave me some really kind comments on that January video and subscribed to my channel. I really appreciate your kind words, and also to Aaron Pinn, who is another guy who left some really nice comments, and a couple of cool guys. If you don't subscribe to their channels, make sure you do. That's Aaron Pinn, P-Y-N-N, and Faligar 517, F-A-L-A-G-A-R 517. So subscribe to those guys. They've been doing it a lot longer than I have, and they have a lot of great information, some great video game videos, some Let's Plays, a lot of really cool movie reviews and talks, and there's a lot of other great people on here too. And I would just like to say thanks to I'm just getting started out, and I'm really just doing it to have fun, but I appreciate anybody who enjoys what I'm doing, and I do appreciate you guys. It's fun being a part of this little community, and thanks for welcoming me. So let's get started. On DVD this past month, I picked up from Mill Creek a couple TV comedies that are somewhat related. I picked up the first two seasons of Soap and the first two seasons of Benson. Both from Mill Creek, both seasons 1 and 2. 4 discs each, nothing fancy. You open them up and it's just, stacked in there as they do is the 4 discs. Season 1, disc 1, season 1, disc 2, season 2, 1, season 2, 2. Soap runs 20 hours, 1977 to 79, the first 2 seasons, and it's a really funny show. It stars, a lot of people, but Richard Mulligan, if you remember from Empty Nest, is absolutely hilarious in this series. Billy Crystal is in this, way before he was on Saturday Night Live and You Look Marvelous and all that good stuff. What's her name? Katherine Helmond, who played Mona on Who's the Boss. But this is about it's a soap opera. It's a weekly half-hour soap opera, but it's a Mad Magazine version of a soap opera. It's a comedy about 2 families. These 2 are sisters, and it's their 2 families. She's the matriarch of the rich family. She's the matriarch of the middle-class family. And they each have kids, adopted and otherwise. And the rich family, of course, has a butler named Benson, played by the great Robert Guillaume. And it's like the Mad Magazine version of a soap opera. It's really funny. It takes basic soap opera premises and pokes fun at them. There's Richard Mulligan thinking he's invisible. There's an openly gay character played by Billy Crystal on TV, which for 1977 was really a rarity. There's a black butler doing a lot of racial humor. Not racist, but, racially charged really funny humor where he gets his, he gets his back, uh, showing that in that rich family of flighty people, he's the one that really has his feet planted on the ground. And the middle class family, you have a son, a middle-aged son who is a ventriloquist. There's just all kinds of funny stuff. I could go on. But if it ran for 4 seasons, this is the first 2. If you've never seen it, check it out. And they spun it off after season 2 or after season 3. They gave Robert Guillaume his own show as the same character in Benson, who becomes following his breakout success on the legendary sitcom Soap, star Robert Guillaume reprises his popular role as the beloved butler Benson Dubois in the spin-off Benson. He's basically, he runs the household of the governor. I don't know, or I forget if they mention which state that this character is the governor of, but he runs the governor's mansion, and he plays the same character, and this is a great show too. This is another almost 19 and a half hours, runs from 79 to 81, and another really, really funny sitcom. So between the 2 of these, you have 4 seasons, about, almost 40 hours. So, from Mill Creek. And they're pretty cheap, too. I picked up from Target, $5. I got the DVD version of Super Troopers. It's got a nice slipcase. Well, not that nice, because it's exactly the same. And the DVD is, the regular DVD in the annoying old Eco case. But this is a funny movie from the Broken Lizard comedy troupe, who also brought you such fine movies as Club Dread. This is a funny movie from 2002 about, a crazy group of cops, headed up by Brian Cox, who is a great actor who's been in some great genre movies as well. But this is funny, and it has a commentary by couple different commentaries by the Broken Lizard team members. There's outtakes, deleted scenes, featurette, alternate ending, theatrical trailer. It's rated R, 103 minutes, 185 to 1 widescreen. Really funny movie, really cheap, good stuff. This movie I know is coming out from Scream Factory next month, April, but I did not know that when I ordered it, so I picked up the Ultimate Edition, the special edition on DVD of Escape from New York, starring Kurt Russell as Snake Plissken. This is a 2 DVD set, and up until the Scream Factory release, this is probably, I don't know, as far as I could tell, this was the coolest set, at least on DVD. Really neat. A lot of cool. There's the back there. Opens up there. 2 discs. And it also has an insert there. Snake Plissken Chronicles comic book, which is really nice. It's a nice insert there. Nice little bonus. And the first disc is the movie. The second disc is the special features. Stars some great people other than Kurt Russell. Lee Van Cleef, Ernest Borgnine is in this. Donald Pleasance, of course. Isaac Hayes. Harry Dean Stanton. Tom Atkins, of course. From Halloween 3 and Night of the Creeps. Harry Dean Stanton, did I mention that? Charles Cyphers, who plays the sheriff in Halloween. The special features consist of, let's see. There's a high-definition film transfer, 5.1 surround audio, deleted scene. There's an original opening where you see Snake Plissken robbing the bank, how he originally gets caught and sent to Manhattan Island, which is the prison camp. That was cut out of the movie, unfortunately, but it is presented here. Return to Escape from New York featurette. 2 feature-length audio commentaries, one with John Carpenter, one with Deborah Hill, I believe. There's liner notes. There's Making of John Carpenter's Snake Plissken Chronicles Gallery. That's the comic book. Photo gallery trailers and much more. It's 5.1 surround sound, an hour and 39 minutes from 1981. And this is another great John Carpenter movie. And I'm really looking forward to the Scream Factory Blu-ray that will be coming out April 21st, I believe, something like that. I'll be getting that next month. Can't wait. And you can't have one without the other. I found this at a bookstore in the bargain bin for $5. Escape from L.A. Snake is Back. This is a pretty bare bones DVD. Excuse me. Pretty bare bones DVD. Nothing but a theatrical trailer. But it is the sequel. It is directed by John Carpenter. Let's see. 1996, 100 minutes. Rated R. Written by John Carpenter, Deborah Hill, and Kurt Russell. Produced by Deborah Hill and Kurt Russell. And directed by John Carpenter. A worthy sequel, I think. A lot of people disagree, but a lot of people agree. Steve Buscemi is in this. He plays a cool little part. You got to remember, it's 15 years after the original, and it's much the same plot. In here, Manhattan has been cut off and becomes basically a prison camp. Here, the big one is hit, the earthquake, and L.A. is out to sea, and that's where they send all the prisoners. And of course, they have to send Snake Plissken, they being the leaders of the U.S., much as they did in the first. In the first one, they had to send him in to rescue Donald Pleasance, who's the president of the United States, who's been kidnapped by a militia group. And here, he's on a similar mission. And let's see, yeah, Los Angeles has been hit by a 9.6 on the Richter scale. Earthquake, set in 2013. His job is to retrieve a doomsday device. Steve Buscemi, Peter Fonda, Pam Grier, Stacy Keach, Cliff Robertson. Fun movie. These are fun movies. John Carpenter I think at his best in Escape from New York, and a great movie, good movie. Escape from New York, Escape from L.A. Check them out on DVD. Okay. Then Silence of the Lambs is one of the better series. Since it stars Anthony Hopkins and it won Oscars, or at least was, I don't know, I forget if it won or was nominated, but I know it was nominated, so they refuse. It's a thriller, it's not a horror movie, even though there's cannibalism and all kinds of nasty shit going on. But I found Hannibal on DVD in a really cool steelbook, two-disc collector's edition. Really nice steelbook that I found brand new for $7.99, believe it or not. And it's got a nice little insert in here, directed by Anthony Hopkins, reprises his role as Hannibal Lecter. This one is directed by Ridley Scott. There's a little letter there from Ridley Scott in the insert, your chapter list, and just a little advertisement there. But there, when we open it up, is the 2 discs. Let's see, is there anything to look at underneath? Not really. Just another picture of Anthony Hopkins, which you probably can barely see. But, yeah, so it's a 2-disc steelbook, DVD steelbook, which you don't see too often. A lot of the steelbooks now are all Blu-ray. But it's chock full of special features. You have alternate ending with optional director commentary, Ridley Scott. Over 35 minutes of deleted and alternate scenes with optional director commentary. Feature-length commentary, of course, by director Ridley Scott. If any of you have the Alien set, there's a great commentary by Ridley Scott. Prometheus, he does a great commentary. And this commentary is right up there. I've said it time and again, I'm a special features / commentary lover, nerd, geek. I love, the more you pack these discs with, the more I can't wait to buy them. And Ridley Scott's one of those guys who I like listening to. He really goes into the making of the film. So this is interesting stuff. 5 unique making-of featurettes. Multi-angle featurette on the art of storyboarding, anatomy of a shootout, multi-angle gallery featuring trailers, TV spots, rare production stills, and unused poster concepts, and more. This is the one where Julianne Moore took over from Jodie Foster, playing the same part of Clarice Starling. And let's see, Ray Liotta, Frankie Faison. Part of the produced by Dino De Laurentiis. This is the one, no spoilers really, but this is the one where we see Ray Liotta's skull taken off and fed his own brain. So it's kind of gory. But again, they call it a thriller because it's a mainstream movie. But this is a horror movie, folks. So Hannibal. Not as good as Silence of the Lambs, but pretty cool movie. Rated R. I don't know if there's an unrated version out there or anything, but there are 35 minutes of deleted and alternate scenes. And then Night of the Living Dead, George Romero. We know it's fallen into the public domain, so we know there's dozens of editions out there, plenty of crummy ones, but this might be the best one. The Millennium Edition of Night of the Living Dead. George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead. THX surround sound. The original classic, 1968. Our introduction, basically, to modern-day zombies. This came out, I don't know, is there a year? I'm not sure. Well, Millennium Edition, I guess it was 2000. Duh. But George Romero writes a little letter on the back, and he says, "I'm delighted that there is finally a collector's edition version of this movie, and I'm particularly pleased that the video transfer was so affectionately supervised by people who care about the quality of the original film." And there's a commentary by Romero and other folks who were involved in this original Night of the Living Dead, 1968, black and white classic. And they talk about how they let it fall into the public domain, unfortunately. But there is a commentary by Romero talking about all that, and it's very interesting. And it's there's your special features list there. It's got trailers and TV spots. There's a couple different commentary tracks. There's a film parody. You can listen to the Dolby Digital 5.1 remix or the original mono. There's a photo gallery featuring rare color photos. The history of Romero's company, The Latent Image. Scenes from Romero's Lost film, There's Always Vanilla. Video interview with Judy Ridley from Night of the Living Dead. There's an audio interview, his final interview that he gave, star Dwayne Jones, the main star of Night of the Living Dead. Foreign and domestic posters and collectibles, original props. You can read the entire shooting script on screen. You don't need your DVD-ROM. You can just watch it or read it right off your screen. Personal scrapbooks from cast members. THX optimizer to assure proper TV monitor calibration. Romero started out directing commercials in Pittsburgh and short films, and there's a selection of those short films and commercials in this set. And there's supposed to be a full-color insert featuring liner notes by Stephen King. I bought this from Amazon, supposedly new, and bum, bum, bum. It does not. It's not there. So I'm thinking about returning this. I'm not sure. If anybody knows anything about that insert, if it's worth the trouble of me returning it, let me know. I don't want to go through the trouble of returning it, but I love Stephen King, and if it's something great that I'm missing, I don't know. But I have watched everything else on this disc, and it's great. I'm not going to do a movie review. We all know, if we're horror fans, we know all about this. But as far as I can tell, this is the best edition out there to get. And the sequel, 11 years later, 1979, or was it 78? Yes, it was 78. So 10 years later, Dawn of the Dead. And there's a lot of versions of this too, but this is the Ultimate Edition from Anchor Bay. 4-disc box set. And I was really lucky to get this. Brand new, still sealed in its package. The box is in pristine condition. Everything about it is in pristine condition. I know it's out of print, and I was very lucky to get this for the price I got it for. Look at that. 4 discs, a bonus disc, 3 complete versions of the film, and paper inserts. There's, much like Escape from New York, there's a Dawn of the Dead comic book. Let's see if you can, just some samples there of the type of, really, you know, fairly thick for a free insert comic book. And the little insert here explains what you're getting in the set. And there's a little floor plan of the Monroeville Mall where it takes place. And to quickly go over what's in this, on the 4 discs, you see it's the only bad thing, it's in pristine condition, but it's not that tight of a fit, the discs, unfortunately. But they're not broken or anything, so we're okay. The first disc is, instead of trying to go off that, I'll just read from this quickly. The first disc is the U.S. theatrical version, which was the final unrated director's cut. It runs 127 minutes, and it was released to theaters nationwide in 79. So I was right the first time, it is 79. It contains the finished score by with original music from Goblin and several library music tracks and cues. Each one of these has their own. Each one of these 3 versions of the film has its own distinct commentary. The U.S. theatrical version's commentary is the best one, in my opinion, with George Romero, Tom Savini, monster maker, makeup man extraordinaire, assistant director and wife to George Romero, Chris Romero, moderated by Anchor Bay man, DVD producer Perry Martin. There's theatrical trailers, TV spots, radio spots, advertising gallery, 5.1 DTS surround, 5.1 Dolby Surround, 2.0 Dolby Surround, and original mono. I mean, if that's all you got in this set, that would be a nice disc there. But disc 2 is the extended version, 139 minutes. It's often referred to as the director's cut, but in fact, Romero prefers the U.S. theatrical version as his preferred version. The extended version was created to premiere the film at the 78 Cannes Film Festival in Paris. It contains numerous additional scenes, gore, and a music score filled with library tracks. Change that lighting. And the commentary on this one is with producer Richard Rubenstein, again moderated by Perry Martin. There's a commercial for the Monroeville Mall, behind-the-scenes photo gallery, memorabilia gallery, production stills, and it's presented in the original mono. Disc 3 is the European version, the shortest version, running 118 minutes. This is the one where Italian maestro director Dario Argento was involved in the editing. It's basically his edit. It was, edited by Argento for European territories. So they made some changes to make it more palatable. Maybe not more palatable. Maybe that's the wrong term, but more more suited for the European audience, I guess. I don't know. Let's see. What it says is it contains numerous scene extensions, and it does skip over several scenes from the North American version, obviously, considering that it's a good deal shorter at 118 minutes. It also contains additional music from Goblin, which is really cool music in this movie. These are all, by the way, 185-1 transfers. The European version has the actors' commentary with David M.G., Ken Foree, Scott Reininger, and Galen Ross. Sorry. International theatrical trailers, UK TV spots, lobby card gallery, poster and advertising gallery, press book gallery, home and video soundtrack, and a Dario Argento bio. So that's great. But the fourth disc are your documentaries, your full-length documentaries. There's an all-new to this set documentary called The Dead Will Walk, and it is a feature-length documentary featuring interviews with cast and crew. I'm trying to see the year. Let's see if I can find the year the set came out. 2004. So this was an all-new documentary from 2004. So it's a good 12 years old now, but still a lot newer than the second documentary, which is Roy Frumke's Document of the Dead, the original documentary about Dawn of the Dead, which Roy Frumke's took a camera and taped the day-to-day goings-on of the filming of Dawn of the Dead and presented it as the Document of the Dead. And this, by the way, is available on Blu-ray. And, you can find it on Amazon or eBay or wherever, called Document of the Dead. And it has this original version. Plus it has a version which is updated from a couple years back. And that was released a couple years back. But only the original version is on here. But that's still a feature-length documentary. Very interesting. There's on-set home movies with audio commentary from Zombie Extra Robert Langer. And there's a really cool, I think it's only about 15 minutes probably, maybe 20, but a tour of the Monroeville Mall in Pittsburgh with Ken Foree. So you get a lot of value in this set. I don't know how much this set originally ran for, and I even got it. It still has the, you can see the dark there, because, let's see if I can do it, yeah. The original insert paper is still glued to it. I mean, this is pristine condition, folks, and as a collector, this is exciting stuff, It's hard to find. I mean, this set isn't really hard to find, but it's hard to find in good condition, and it's hard to find at a good price. Well, I found this at a tremendous, tremendous price, and I expected it to come and be a little beat up, but there's no scratches on the discs, there's no bends, tears, rips on the box, and I'll tell you, after tax, I got this for about 17 bucks, and boy was I surprised. And this is so worth it. And even if you have to spend, I was willing to spend up to maybe like 50, 60 bucks to get it in this condition. it's probably worth a lot more in brand new condition like this. I don't know, because if you're a fan of the Dead movies, especially the original three, even the original four, count Land of the Dead. You have Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, and Land of the Dead. There's two more after that, but the original three, maybe even Land of the Dead, are just fantastic, fantastic movies. This, in many people's opinion, including mine, is the best of the bunch, and it's just a great box set. Great box set. One more. Another, again from Anchor Bay, another Ultimate Edition. This time, it's The Evil Dead Ultimate Edition from Anchor Bay. See there? It's almost done like a book, you know, where it's indented a little bit there. And I know they have the Book of the Dead version with that like styrofoam where it looks like the actual Book of the Dead, the tree. But other than that, possibly this is probably the best version, at least on DVD. It seems like every version of the Evil Dead has different special features. So I have not seen a definitive Evil Dead with every single special feature. But this is probably the best, although you probably want to get them all to get all the special features. But especially that new one they released last year, I think it was last year, the Blu-ray Steelbook with the brand new commentary with Bruce Campbell. They either released it or 2013 or 14. You can get that now for like $10. But this came out, I don't know, 2007. So this is not that old. And this is really cool, folks. Again, I got this for a really good price in brand new condition. This one I got for about $22. And look at that. Really cool. 3 discs, full frame, widescreen, and a 3rd disc. And the other side, a lot of cool artwork. There's the cover, there's the back cover. Each one of these could be a cover there. Okay. And it also comes with a poster. A replica of the cover. And close but not exactly the same as the cover. Dual-sided. So the special features on this, real quick. Disc 1 is widescreen, Disc 2 is full frame, and Disc 3 is a bonus disc called Ladies of the Evil Dead. There's the list right there. Hell of a glare. But Disc 1 has an audio commentary with Sam Raimi and producer Robert Tappert. The documentary, The Untold Saga of the Evil Dead, One by One We Will Take You. That's about 50 or 55 minutes. Great documentary. Disc 2 is the full-frame version with a commentary by Bruce Campbell. And The Evil Dead Treasures from the Cutting Room Floor. Tons of behind-the-scenes footage from the making of the film. And Disc 3 is Ladies of the Evil Dead. Life After Death, Ladies of the Evil Dead. A whole separate documentary on the female leads of the Evil Dead. The Ladies of the Evil Dead meet Bruce Campbell, discovering the Evil Dead at the drive-in, TV spots. There's a reunion panel, still gallery, makeup test, trailer, poster and memorabilia gallery. Can't beat it. Can't beat it, folks. Anchor Bay. Before there was Scream Factory, there was Anchor Bay. And here are 2 great examples of why Anchor Bay was so great and could continue to be, I suppose. They've merged with Stars, I guess. But Anchor Bay, back when you started collecting, if you're my age, late 30s, when you started collecting DVDs when they first came out, you know, circa 2000, 99, 2000, 2001, Anchor Bay was the place to go for stuff like this. And Like I said, this is 2004, this is 2007. For movies that came out in the late 70s, early 80s, these are two of their ultimate editions, and they're absolutely fantastic. So we're going to stop this, we're going to end this video. But these are the two box sets, I guess you could call them, that I got. Evil Dead and Dawn of the Dead. And these are the DVDs I got. First two seasons of Soap and Benson. The DVD Super Troopers. The Ultimate Special Edition of Escape from New York. The Bare Bones Edition of Escape from L.A. The 2-disc Steelbook of Hannibal. And the Millennium Edition of Night of the Living Dead. I know this video runs a little long, and I know I talk a little bit too much about the special features, but guys, you already know about these movies. If you're fans, you know about these movies. You don't need movie reviews. And the whole idea of me talking about these special features is that if you're interested at, you know, and if you don't own, a lot of times I get